Who are you? The boy is 6 years old, standing on wet concrete outside a burning building, barefoot, soot on his face, fists clenched. He's positioned between his sister and the stranger who just carried them both out of a third-floor window. His stance is low. His guard is up. Someone taught this kid to fight. The girl stands behind her brother, clutching a stuffed elephant, not crying, not shaking. She's staring at the man in the torn suit with eyes that don't belong on a child, studying him, tilting her head, like she's solving a problem she didn't know she had. The man is on one knee, glass in his hair, blood on his knuckles. His suit is black with smoke. Behind him, the third floor is engulfed, flames pouring from the windows he just came through, because he's looking at the girl. And her face, the jaw, the cheekbones, and the way she tilts her head, is his face. He's staring at himself in a 6-year-old he has never seen before. Then the mother arrives. A black woman, 30, breaks through the fire line, drops to her knees, grabs both children, pulls them into her body so hard they disappear. She looks up at the man. He looks at her. He doesn't recognize her. Not yet. But something pulls, something 7 years old. A hotel bar in Lagos. A laugh. A number she never called. Are they mine? She holds her children tighter. Are they mine? Yes. 8 months ago, this woman landed at Incheon Airport with 2 suitcases and 2 children. She swore the man who got her pregnant in a Lagos hotel room 7 years ago would never find out. This is a Seoul heart story, and the fire hasn't even gone out yet. 8 months earlier, 5:47 a.m. Mapo District, Seoul. A 2-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor. Thin walls, unreliable heating. Zara Okafor's in the living room. Shadowboxing, jab, cross, hook, roll. Her hands are fast, crisp. 12 years in her father's boxing gym in Surulere, Lagos. Emmanuel Okafor's boxing academy. Concrete floors, bags held together with tape. He trained her from age 7. In this city, my daughter hits harder than any man's son. She stopped competing at 19, pregnant. Her father died the same year. Heart attack in the gym. She checks the time, walks to the bedroom. Kofi, Amani, up. Kofi is already doing push-ups. 6 years old. His form is terrible. His commitment is absolute. Mama, I did 5. That was 3. Flat back, try again. Amani is sitting up, already dressed, sketchbook on her lap. She's drawn the view from their window, the street, the convenience store, the fish cake vendor. Perfectly detailed. She's 6. Morning routine, braids, homework check. Jollof rice in thermoses because both twins refuse Korean school lunch. Kofi called it a war crime. He's dramatic. At the school gate, she crouches. If someone grabs you, scream, bite, run, Kofi recites. Find a woman with children. Amani, same, but I memorize the face first. Zara watches them walk in. Takes the subway to Gangnam. English tutoring, 3 rich Korean kids. Then afternoon pickup, homework, dinner, bedtime, night, cleaning offices in Gangnam, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., 3 buildings, subway home, 3 hours of sleep, 8 months of this. Every day, she sees Dohan's name on construction sites from the subway. Kang Construction. His company's logo on cranes. She saw his face in a newspaper once. Older, harder, a scar on his jaw. The same eyes. She has one rule. Never linger south of the Han River. Gangnam is his territory. Every time Kofi asks, "Where is our Appa?" something in her chest cracks. Kang Dohan, 34, head of the Kang syndicate. Construction, real estate, nightclubs. The daylight side. The other side doesn't have a brochure. His office, 42nd floor, Gangnam. Seoul below him like something he owns. And Park Junho? He asks Captain Ri, his head of security. Meeting with the Incheon captains, Song, Byun, Kwak. 3 of 7 district captains, meeting with Junho, without Dohan. When did it start? 40 minutes ago. Dohan files it. Junho's been having a lot of private meetings lately. Always reasonable. Always slightly off. Keep watching him. He goes home, the compound, massive, empty, eats alone, sleeps alone. 7 years ago he was in Lagos, a hotel bar, a bartender who argued about Fela Kuti for 4 hours. One night, he left a number she never called. He doesn't know he has 2 children 3 miles north of him, a room with no windows. Gangnam. Park Junho sits at the head of a table, 3 syndicate captains across from him. He's weak, Junho says. His father would have expanded into Incheon 2 years ago. Dohan hesitates. What do you need? Captain Byaon asks. Leverage, something personal. His phone buzzes. A message from Victor Seo, his fixer. Junho reads it. His expression doesn't change, but his eyes do. He turns the phone around. A surveillance photo. A Nigerian woman walking 2 biracial children into a school in Mapo. Those are Kang Do-han's children, and he doesn't know they exist. 3 weeks later, Tuesday, walking home from school. Zara feels it. A prickle at her neck. Someone watching. She scans the street. Nothing obvious. She picks up the pace, grips Kofi's hand. Mama, you're walking fast, Amani says. Just cold, baby. That night she pushes the dresser against the door. Sleeps with shoes by the bed. She's not paranoid. 3 blocks away, a man uploads surveillance photos to Victor Seo. 3 weeks after that, 11:14 p.m. Zara is scrubbing a floor in Gangnam. Her phone rings. Mrs. Choi, the babysitter, screaming, Fire the building! Fire the children! She runs. Sees the orange glow from 6 blocks away. Her building, her floor. She arrives. Fire trucks. Crowds. The 3rd floor is engulfed. Stairwell collapsed. She fights through the fire line. My children are in there. Then, a man on the fire escape. Suit, no gear, climbing fast. He kicks the 3rd floor window in, disappears into smoke. 30 seconds. The longest of her life. He reappears. A child under each arm. Comes down. A section gives way. He jumps 8 feet, lands, rolls, shields them with his body. Kofi, coughing, crying, alive. Amani, silent, clutching her elephant. Zara reaches them, grabs her children, holds them until they squeak. Then she looks up. Kang Do-han, 7 years older, glass in his hair, blood on his knuckles. He's staring at the children, at Kofi's jaw, at Amani's cheekbones. Are they mine? Dohan, are they mine? Yes. He looks at her. It clicks. Lagos. The bar. The bartender. You knew, this entire time. I knew what you are, and I chose them over you, every single day. What nobody knows yet? The fire wasn't an accident. 3 points of accelerant. Someone wanted those children in the chaos. The Kang compound. I'm not bringing my children into your house. Your apartment burned down. It's 1 a.m. My house has walls and beds. Get in the car, Zara. She goes. Not trust, necessity. Kofi walks in, eyes wide. Mama, is this a castle? It's a house. It has guards. It's a house with guards. Can we live here? 1 night. She's wrong. Over the next 2 weeks, everything changes. Day 1, breakfast. Dohan sits at the head of a marble table, coffee in hand, staring at 2 6-year-olds like they're a negotiation he hasn't prepared for. He's faced down syndicate bosses, corrupt politicians, and men with guns. He has no idea what to say to a child holding a stuffed elephant. Amani stares back at him. Same expression. Same silence, same tilted head. It's like watching a mirror argue with itself. Kofi, mouth full of toast. Do you have a dog? No. Why not? Everyone with a house this big needs a dog. I don't. What about a cat? No. A fish? No. You live in a castle with no animals? That's sad. Dohan looks at Zara. She shrugs. He's not wrong. Dohan, to Captain Rhee standing by the door. Get a dog. A Jindo named Tiger arrives within 24 hours. Kofi screams so loud the guards reach for their weapons. Amani sits on the floor beside the dog and draws him. Tiger doesn't move for 45 minutes. He knows when he's being documented. Day 3. Amani finishes a drawing and slides it across the table to Dohan without a word. He picks it up. It's him, on the fire escape, in the smoke, 2 children under his arms. She drew it from memory. The detail is perfect. The torn shoulder of his suit, the glass in his hair, the way he held them. She even drew the section of fire escape that gave way. He stares at it for a long time. His jaw works. He puts it in his desk drawer. Locks it. Day 5. Kofi finds the training room in the basement. A real gym, bags, mats, weights, equipment that costs more than Zara's entire apartment. He bursts back upstairs like he's been electrocuted. "Mama, there's a gym, a real gym, with bags." "You're not going in there." "But Mama, you're 6. Dohan walks past. "What's the problem?" "He wants to use the gym. He's 6. Your father started you at 7. "That's different. How?" She doesn't have an answer. Kofi is already bouncing on his toes. Dohan crouches to his level. "Show me your stance." Kofi plants his feet, hands up, guard tight on the right, left hand slightly low. He throws a combination at the air, jab, cross, hook. Wild, unrefined. But the instinct is there. The mechanics are raw but real. He moves like a fighter's grandchild. Dohan looks at Zara. "He's good. He's 6. He's good." "Who taught him?" "Nobody. He watches me shadowbox in the living room, copies what I do." "You shadowbox?" "My father was a boxing trainer in Lagos. I trained since I was 7, competed for 12 years, amateur boxing, regional tournaments." Something shifts in how Dohan looks at her. She's not just the woman who hid his children. She's a fighter. "Show me." "Excuse me?" "Show me what you can do." They spar. For the first time. Zara wraps her hands, proper wraps, tight, the way her father taught her. The muscle memory kicks in the moment she steps on the mat. Jab, cross, hook, roll. 7 years since she competed, but the hands are still fast. The footwork is still clean. Dohan is bigger, stronger, trained in close quarters combat, but she is faster. Her jab tags him before he reads it. He adjusts. She adjusts faster. Tags him again, a clean cross that pops his head back. "You hit hard," he says, breathing heavy. "My father made sure of it. You're dropping your left after the cross." "I know. I've always done that." "I can fix it." "My father tried for 12 years. I'm more stubborn than your father." "Nobody is more stubborn than my father was." She pauses. "But you can try." The sparring becomes routine, every night. Twins asleep, training room, sweat, 2 fighters circling. He teaches her knife defense, grappling, groundwork, the things boxing doesn't cover. She teaches him speed, head movement, combination punching, the things his street combat training never refined. They're building a fighting language together, and the tension between them is not just tactical, but neither of them names it. Amani doesn't train. She draws. She sits in the garden with Tiger and her sketchbook, and she draws everything. The guards, the compound. Dohan training Kofi. Zara watching, the kitchen, the hallways, the gate. And she draws things she shouldn't notice. A guard who talks on his phone in the corner of the garden every afternoon. She draws him 3 times in 1 week. Same man, different locations, always on his phone, always checking over his shoulder first. She shows the drawing to Dohan one evening. Quiet, no drama, just slides it across the table like she always does. He looks at it, looks at her, looks at the guard in the garden. "That man talks on his phone a lot," Amani says. "Does he?" "Every day around 3. He looks around first, like he doesn't want anyone to see." Dohan stares at his daughter, this child who watches everything and records it in graphite and paper. She has his eyes, his instinct, his silence, and she's 6 years old. He looks at the guard. The guard is gone by evening. Elite Academy in Gangnam. Day 2. Kofi comes home with a split lip, 3 older boys. They said a word about Amani he won't repeat. They pulled her braids. She cried. She never cries. So he fought all 3. Lost, but didn't stop. Dohan, you dropped your guard when you charged. Yeah, that's your mother's instinct. Attack first, think later. Good instinct, bad technique. Tomorrow we fix it. Zara, he gets that from me. The charging without thinking? Absolutely. Training intensifies. Both parents now. Dohan teaches Kofi strategic defense. Move, redirect, wait for the mistake. Zara adds her layer. When he overcommits, counter. 1 shot, make it count. 1 week later, same 3 boys corner Amani. Kofi steps in front, guard tight. Left hand up, lead bully swings. Kofi sidesteps, redirects. The boy trips face first. The other 2 freeze. Kofi doesn't chase. Stands between them and Amani. Steady, waiting. Parents called. One wealthy father demands expulsion. Dohan arrives. The room goes quiet. My son defended his sister against 3 boys who used a racial slur. If you expel him for that, I will buy this building by Friday and turn it into a parking lot. My son. First time out loud. Zara feels it hit her chest like a fist. In the car, Kofi leans forward. Appa. Dohan's hands tighten on the wheel. First time Kofi's called him that. Yes, thank you. For what? For not letting them take me away from Amani. Nobody takes you from your sister, ever. Can we get ice cream? It's a school day. Amani wants ice cream too. Right, Amani? Amani quietly. I wouldn't say no. They get ice cream. A Mafia boss and a boxer's daughter eating cones in a park with 2 6-year-olds who have both their faces. That night, kitchen, twins asleep. He called you Appa. I heard. How did that feel? Long silence. Like 6 years of lost mornings hitting me at once. I'm sorry. I was scared. But I should have been braver. You had no right to keep them from me. And you had no right to be what you are. But here we are. More silence. I'm not asking for forgiveness, she says. I'm asking you to understand that every choice I made was to protect Kofi and Amani. And every day I didn't know them is a day I can't get back. First words, first steps. 6 years, Zara. I know. I carry that every day. No resolution, no hug, no kiss. Just 2 people in a kitchen with 6 years and 2 children between them. But something shifts. Not forgiveness, not love. Just the beginning of, we're in this together now. He puts his hand beside hers on the counter. Not touching, just there. Tell me about them, everything I missed. She talks until 4 a.m. Kofi's first word, no. His first fight. Age 3, with a table leg he walked into and then punched. Amani's first drawing. A cat, or possibly a building, they still argue. The night Kofi got croup and Zara carried him to a Lagos hospital in the rain, barefoot, because she couldn't find her shoes. The day Amani drew a perfect portrait of Zara's father from a photo she'd seen once, 3 months earlier. She's like you, Zara says. She watches, catalogs, remembers everything. And Kofi? Kofi is like my father, loud, stubborn, would fight a hurricane and complain it wasn't trying hard enough. He punched my arm when I grabbed him in the fire, hard, accurate. That's my blood. I know. He almost smiles. I felt it. He listens to all of it. Every word, every birthday, every fever, every nightmare. Like a man drinking water after 7 years in a desert. Captain Ree's report lands 3 days later. The fire was arson. Professional. The accelerant supplier connects to Victor Seoul, a fixer. His last 3 contracts were commissioned by someone inside our organization. Inside. Dohan's blood goes cold, but it's Amani who cracks it. Her drawings. 3 images. The same man, Junho's personal aide, meeting Victor Seoul outside the compound walls. Passing documents, receiving cash. Zara lays the drawings on Dohan's desk. Your 6-year-old daughter found your traitor. Security footage confirms everything. Dohan confronts Junho. Office, door locked. You set the fire. I don't know what you're talking about. Victor Seo, the accelerant. My children's apartment. You hired a fixer to burn a building with 2 6-year-olds inside. Junho says nothing for a long moment. Then the mask drops. 20 years of loyalty dissolve like smoke. Your father would never have let a Nigerian bartender weaken the bloodline. Bringing that woman into this house, parading those half-breed children in front of the captains, you've become a liability, Do-han. Those are my children. They're a weakness, and this syndicate cannot afford weakness. Do-han hits him, once, clean. Junho crashes into the desk, blood from his mouth. My children are not a weakness. Junho wipes his mouth, smiles. The worst smile Zara has ever seen. She's watching through the security camera from the hallway. I tried to control the situation. You're too emotional. You always were. Your father knew it. That's why he chose me. Before he died, he took my hand and said, "If my son is too weak, you take the chair." Those were his last words to me. Not to you, to me. The words land like a knife. Not just betrayal. The possibility that his own father never believed in him. That everything Do-han built was on a foundation that never trusted him. Junho moves for the door. Do-han blocks it. But Junho throws a chair, hits the window panel, drops through a side corridor. 20 years of knowing this building's layout. Gone in seconds. Within an hour, Junho activates his faction on 4 captains defect. 40 men. Do-han has 20. The coup is live. That night. Zara's phone buzzes. A photo. The twins walking into school. Telephoto lens. Time-stamped. You took my leverage. I'll get it back. She shows Do-han. His face becomes the thing people fear. Full lockdown. 16 guards. Zara goes to the training room. Wraps her hands. Real wraps. Tight. Starts hitting the bag with intent. Do-han finds her. They photographed my children. I know. Teach me everything boxing doesn't cover. They train for hours. He grabs her wrist in a grappling drill. She reverses it, slams his hand to the mat, both breathing hard, faces close. Neither speaks. She lets go, wraps her hands again. Again! Junho takes the Kang headquarters, declares himself leader. Then he attacks strategically, gets Zara's records. The twins' birth certificates, father listed as unknown. Leaks everything to the undecided captains. Then a direct message to Zara. Leave tonight, take the children, money, new identity, Lagos, you've done it before. Zara stands in the twins' bedroom. Kofi asleep, Amani asleep, Tiger between them. She texts back 2 words. Come try. Goes to Do-han. Junho offered me a way out. And? I'm still here. I ran once, not again. He'll come for the children. Then we stop him. But I stand beside you. Not behind you. Never behind you. Your left hand still drops when you're angry. Then remind me. I will. The plan is Zara's. Don't fight him. Expose him. Challenge him to a face-to-face. Syndicate tradition. He can't refuse. But stream it live to every undecided captain. You want to broadcast a syndicate meeting. I want every captain in Seoul to watch Park Junho's face when I tell him I saved your life in Lagos 7 years ago, and he doesn't even know it. Do-han goes still. What? The morning after that night. I was in the hotel hallway at 6 a.m. 2 Korean men came, suits. They had your photo. Asked the front desk for your room number. What did you do? I told them the wrong floor, 4th instead of 6th. They went up. You went down 20 minutes later. You never knew. Do-han stares at her. Junho sent men to kill me in Lagos, and a bartender sent them to the wrong room. Silence. You saved my life, before you even knew who I was. I didn't know you were a Mafia boss. I just knew 2 men with bad intentions were looking for the man I'd just spent the night with. So I lied. He processes this. 7 years. She saved his life and hid his children. Both true, both complicated, both impossible to untangle. What else do you need for this plan? He asks quietly. The children go to Busan. Captain Ree's wife. No one in the syndicate knows the location. The compound stays empty but rigged with cameras. When Junho's men break in and ransack rooms with children's drawings on the fridge, every captain watching sees exactly who Park Junho is. A man who sends soldiers after a dog and a stuffed elephant. You think like a general. I think like a mother who grew up in Lagos. The twins go to Busan that night. Telling them is the hardest part. Oh, Kofi, why can't we stay? Because Mama and Appa have work to do. Important work. Fighting work. Yes. Can I come? No. But I'm good now. Appa said my left hand doesn't drop anymore. Your left hand still drops. And you're 6. You're going to Busan with Auntie Ree and Tiger. Tiger's coming. Tiger's coming. Okay. Amani says nothing. She holds Zara's sleeve for 11 minutes. Then she looks up. Make him pay for the fire, Mama. 6 years old. She knows. She always knows. Zara kisses both foreheads. Watches the car pull away. Tiger's face in the rear window. Kofi waving. Amani not waving. Just watching. When the taillights disappear, Zara turns to Dohan. Now we end this. The warehouse, Incheon Port, midnight. Dohan, Zara, Captain Ree. 12 guards. And Zara's hands are wrapped under her jacket sleeves. Boxer's habit. Her heart is hammering. Her hands are steady. Junho arrives. 20 men. Victor Seo beside him. They spread through the warehouse like a formation. Junho looks at Zara. Smiles the way a man smiles when he's already won. You brought the bartender to a syndicate meeting. I brought the mother of my children, Dohan says. Who are you bringing? A man who burns apartments with kids inside? Junho's smile doesn't waver. Sentiment. That's always been your problem. Zara steps forward. Her voice carries. She's not shaking. She discovered something in the last 2 weeks. She's not afraid of powerful men. She raised twins alone in Lagos. She cleaned floors at 2 a.m. to feed them. She shadowboxed in a living room after 3 hours of sleep. This man in a suit with a god complex is not the hardest thing she survived. I'm the bartender who served Dohan a drink in Lagos 7 years ago. The same trip your men arranged. The warehouse goes quiet. You sent him to Lagos to get killed. I know because I was in the hotel hallway the next morning. 6 a.m., 2 Korean men, suits. They had his photo. They described him to the front desk clerk. She pauses. Lets it land. I told them the wrong room number, sent them to the 4th floor instead of the 6th. They went up. He came down, left the hotel 20 minutes later. He never knew. She pulls out her phone. Shows a photo. One of Junho's current men. Same face, 7 years older. This man works for you, Junho. He was in that Lagos hotel. Your first coup failed because a bartender lied about a room number 7 years ago. And you still couldn't get it done. Junho's composure cracks. For the first time, a vein pulses at his temple. Then the feeds go live. Every screen in the warehouse activates. The undecided captains watching from locations across Seoul. And the compound cameras. Junho's secondary team breaking into the empty house. Searching rooms, kicking open doors, throwing furniture, Tiger barking at them from the garden, teeth bared. The fridge, drawings held up with magnets. A family of 4. The word home in a child's handwriting. A stuffed elephant on a bed. Every captain watches grown men ransack a house where children live. The chat messages flood. Captain by captain, I didn't sign up for this. He went after children. I'm out. Junho sees his support draining in real time. His face changes. The politician's mask collapses into something animal, desperate. He pulls a gun, points it at Dohan. If I go down, you come with me. Victor Seo moves behind Zara, knife out against her back. Nobody moves. Zara feels the blade near her spine, the cold point through her jacket. Her father's voice, clear as the day he said it. When someone threatens what's yours, you don't run. You plant your feet, and you swing. She spins. Elbow to Victor's ribs. Short range, full rotation. The close quarters shot her father drilled into her 1,000 times at the gym in Surulere. The shot that won her first regional trophy at 16. Victor doubles over, air gone. She follows with an uppercut. Her best punch. The one that ended fights in Lagos. It connects clean under his chin. His head snaps back. The knife clatters to concrete. Or she grabs it. Knee on his spine, arm pinned behind his back. 3 seconds. Not technique, not choreography. A boxer's instinct, a mother's fury. 12 years of her father's training detonating in one moment. The warehouse stares. Captain Ree, watching from the Busan safe house feed, whispers to the twins. Your mother just dropped a man twice her size. Kofi, immediately. She does that. Amani, quietly, without looking up from her sketchbook. He should have kept his guard up. Dohan steps into Junho's gun. My father trusted you, but my father is dead, and I am nothing like my father. The gun lowers. Captain Ree's men move in. It's over. 3 months later. The compound. Morning. Tiger chases a ball Kofi throws too far. Amani draws the family at a stone table. All 4 plus Tiger. I Tiger last because he's family too. Zara sits on the porch. She opened a boxing gym attached to the compound. Concrete floors, bags, tape, just like Surulere. She trains the guards' wives and their daughters. In this city, my students hit harder than any man expects. Her father's legacy. Rebuilt in Seoul. Dohan walks out. Kofi. Appa, watch this. A clean combination. Your left hand is still dropping. No, it's not. Zara. His left hand drops because your left hand drops. Amani, without looking up. Your left hand drops, Appa. We'll discuss this in training tonight. Looking forward to it. Amani slides a drawing across. Dohan sleeping with both twins on his lap. Mouth open. Devastating accuracy. I don't look like that when I sleep. You do. I'm keeping this. He opens his desk drawer. All full of her drawings. The first one, the fire escape, on top. Zara follows, sees the drawer, touches his hand. That night, kitchen, same seats. I'm not sorry I came to Seoul. I'm not sorry you did either. I am sorry I ran. I know. I won't do it again. I know that too. He takes her hand, holds it. Morning. Zara braids Amani's hair on the porch. Kofi trains with Dohan in the garden. Tiger runs between both groups, choosing everyone. Not perfect, not safe, not normal, but theirs. 7 years ago, a bartender in Lagos poured a stranger a drink. One night. One argument about Fela Kuti. One morning where he left a number she never called. 7 years later, he pulled her children from a fire and discovered the girl has his cheekbones and the boy has her right hook. And some people spend their whole lives running from the people they're supposed to love. Zara ran for 7 years. It took a burning building, a 6-year-old's drawing, and a mafia boss who bought a dog in 24 hours to make her stop.